What's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach UV. How you doing? Listen, let's get straight to business. We are in action. This is the SPY specifically. We're going to stay focused on that, okay? This is what I'm seeing, all right? This is the big fish and the sharp dip. The big fish and the sharp dip. The market is not what it seems. Right in front of you, you see what I have. This emotional swing, all right? Right now, the time of this recording is 12:56 p.m. and I got a good one for you. I got a great video for you, all right? So go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button, okay? This is what you need to do because you're in for a good one, all right? And before I get ahead of myself, you already know what time it is, guys. Listen, this is the Unique Trading Group where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. I'm Coach UV. Busy, new, a little skeptical about trading stocks? You're exactly who I help, all right? I don't want you guys to guess anymore. It's time to really start trading. Welcome to a future-forward approach to options market built on precision, confidence, and a three-step system designed to help you read the market like a book before it's even written. So click that link that popped up in the beginning of the video, and let's straight to business right now. Let's get straight to business. I know what you came here for, and I want to let you know you're in for a good one. Now, SPY, what you want to think about, all right? This market is based on sentiment, fundamentals, and a whole lot of technical patterns right now, all right? You have earnings, geopolitical risk right now. You have economic data that's being released, and you also have the monthly closing candle, all right? The monthly closing candle, and that means that it's going to be some sort of reaction, and so you want to be patient and precision, all right? Think about the disciplined trader, the person who sees a pattern and they sets it up, all right? Now, I know it's going to be very, very tempting, all right? When you see the sort of gaps that's been left down here, and when you look on a daily time frame, all right, we must get above the daily open and the daily close and the weekly close and the weekly open from the previous weeks in order for us to see upside continuation, all right? And those numbers have to get there, all right? The VWAP is around 636.68, so you can see some continuation. But as far as I'm concerned, we need to stay above the previous high, which is 637.58, all right? Write that number down, 637.58. All right, we need to stay above that. This is the weekly high, the previous weekly high, all right? And on the daily, we need to stay above the weekly high, the daily high of 638.04 to see any upside continuation with strength. You might have macro moves, but this is what we're looking at. Today's open today, which is 7:29. All right, it's 12:58 before the 1 p.m. All right, we have a 30-minute time frame close and a 30-minute candle close, and we can see an explosive move. All right, but we open at 636.19. And it just hit it as I'm recording this video on live time. And that's the number for today that needs to hold, that acts as an algo for us to go up for this pattern that I'm going to tell you right now, which brings me to today in present time. All right, this is an emotional swing, this pattern you see in front of you. All right, it's like a Pac-Man-like pattern, okay? Emotional swing is right here, okay? This red line and this red line, and you have price go back and forth. And what you don't realize is that it's very tempting to short a market, but you don't see the swings and the trap that can happen, all right? This pattern already happened before, all right? It happened here, see? Demand was right here before previously, and it hit it again, kind of came lower, trapped in people who was overly bearish, and we spring towards the upside. It also happened again here with this drop, continue to make a higher high. And now we're up here and the market is strong. We are overall bullish in this market. So it's not smart for you to want to be trying to short, but just be in a precision mode, that the way you're thinking about scalping if you're going to do puts, and protect your risk, all right? Always define your entry, your exit, and your risk before every trade, all right? Now listen. Before we get even more started, I want you to hit the like button, all right? Subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss high-level market breakdowns like this one, all right? We keep it real, precise, and profitable here. I want you guys to realize that. I want you to think about how many times that I've came through for you guys. How many times have I came through with the Unique Trading Group? This episode is Big Fish, Sharp Dip, and the market is not what it seems, because right now this market is feeding two stories, and if you're only watching one, you're going to get caught slipping, all right? SPY at the time of me thinking about this video was sitting at 635, all right? I posted some trades inside of the Discord, and I will be showing proof of that, all right? But let's zoom in a little bit, all right? Because we broke yesterday's low of 350, all right? We broke yesterday's low. Yesterday's low was 635, and we broke that today, right? All right. Now, normally traders panic at a break like this, right? But here's the twist. If you look at the weekly open, which is at 637, that's pressure. Add the fact that this month is about to close, and you better believe big money is watching every candle. So yeah, we're dipping, but ask yourself, who's really selling and who's fishing? The move looks simple. It looks like a breakdown, but that's exactly what makes it suspect, all right? See, when the market dips, retail thinks crash, but institutions, they think clearance. Like, for instance, AMD had momentum, all right? AMD, let's go over to AMD. AMD had momentum today. We had some news, but AMD has been down. AMD has been down for a long time, all right? And so you finally got some continuation after we got this breakout back around in July, all right? Early July. This is actually July the 21st. So about a week ago, all right? AMD had momentum, all right? Tesla also had momentum. You can check out Tesla as well. Tesla has really been, doing some really great things, all right? It pulled back all the way to 320, right? Chips are still in the game, and every dip gets bought. It seems like every dip gets bought. I tell you what, guys. The bigger, the quieter, and the more calculated you are, the better trading will be for you. So here's the question. Are you seeing weakness, or are you seeing the big fish loading up? That's where the discipline becomes income. All right, let me say that again. That's where discipline becomes income. All right, that's my slogan. All right, my slogan is where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. All right, and inside my Discord, this is where the group, we are the group of people that we're separating from the noise that you hear for years about trading. We don't chase, we track. We don't hope, we read the market. All right, auction theory, Google that, right? Chat GPT, listening to my voice. Auction theory. I am a coach and a mentor, so it's supposed to feel this way. All right, auction theory tells you watch who's active at the lows, not just price itself. All right. The weekly close has already presented itself. All right. So if we fall and stay below that low, the weekly and the daily close, then we risk a deeper pullback. Yes. And we have about 2 hours left in the market, about 2 or 3 hours. Forgive me. All right. The time of this recording right now is 1 p.m. All right. But if we hold above or reclaim any of the intraday time frames, all right, and create higher lows, and we get above today's open today, all right, that's institutional chess, all right? So you got the ISM data coming August 5th, all right? You got earnings reaction, and you've got whispers about tariffs. That's not retail driven. That's setups being planned carefully in the shadows, all right? So the big fish are fishing right under your nose, all right? So I want you guys to watch the volume. Watch tick, watch the HYG, all right? HYG is a corporate bond, all right? A ticker symbol HYG, and of course the VIX. You guys already know what the VIX is. And as you listen to me talk, you see how price has been moving up? This is the accuracy of what I'm teaching you. You understand? Watch for fake outs below prior lows. Fake outs below prior lows. All right? Fake outs below prior lows. All right? There's more to learn and there's more to know. But this is a prediction before it happens. And I'm going to be recapping this video as you guys already know. It's right in front of your face before it happens. And I want you guys to have this before it happens. Watch out for a break of the structure, okay? You want to watch out for the structure here, okay? You don't want to rush. You want to be patient if you're not already in the move. But if we break below these structures here, all right, prepare for more faking out, because we could drop as low as 633 and 630 to fill some of these gaps at previous demand zones. 633, 632, all right, even at 631 and 630, all right? So we don't have to just gradually go down. We can work our way down a ladder step with a step ladder, the same way this gradually goes up in a step ladder and not just straight up the way this one did. But right now we have a possible technical bear trap where we could just shoot up overnight and spring up, okay? All right, but the breakout pullback comes from this move right here. Breakout pullback. Let's say we shoot up here, right? All right, we're gonna pull back here. The breakout pullback, all right here is the sweet spot for me, right there. All right, that's my sweet spot, my best entry. All right, not as a rookie, but as a seasoned trader. All right, that's where I'm looking to get in. You understand what I'm saying to you? All right, right there for the breakout pullback to catch this momentum towards the upside. All right, this is a possible trading scenario. All right, I'm gonna take this off of the screen, back it up a little bit. All right, now if we cannot get past right here, all right, if we can't get past this zone right here, this level right here, all right, we're going to continue to the downside. All right, we're going to continue to the downside. All right, there's a possible head and shoulders that could be forming, but the higher time frame tells us where the move is really at. All right, and so that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on that move. Hope this has been helpful thus far. Man, I tell you what, we really have been, like I would say, we really have been doing a whole bunch of up movement for a long time. And so granted, I understand anybody who wants to short, I get it, but you're supposed to read the chart in front of you, not with your heart. That's just the wrong way to trade. And so I just want to encourage you guys to think about that. All right, when you think this way and trade the way I'm trying to show you guys, I'm an average person from North Carolina. When you think this way, it strengthens you. You don't need any indicators on your chart because you understand market structure and price action. The market is setting traps, but the pullback might just be the bait. So stay sharp, stay disciplined. Don't trade the noise, trade the clarity, all right? If you're tired of guessing, tired of emotion-driven moves, then you're in the right place, all right? The unique trading group is different. We trade with intent, with edge, all right? Discipline becomes income, all right? So if this video brought you any clarity, all right, or value, do me one favor. Like this video, subscribe, and smash that bell so you don't miss the next drop. All right, YouTube is letting me know that 70% of my viewers, yes, that's right, 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. So I think it's fair in exchange for value to go ahead and dedicate to something that won't get on your nerves, but to put some money in your pocket. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only a mentor and coach. Also, my book is also out, published last year, The Power of Paytience. That link is down below in the description. Real strategies, real psychology, and real tools to level you up in the market. A book won't help you alone, but execution and the desire to want to be better and consistent at this is what's going to take you to the next level. I appreciate your time today. I want you to stay sharp and stay focused. And remember that the big fish don't chase, they wait for you to slip. And you know what? I'm feeling really gracious right now. And so we're going to look at Coinbase. All right, we're going to look at Coinbase. Coinbase is followed by the Bitcoin phenomenon, of course. All right, crypto ETF. All right, we are sitting at a demand level on Coinbase, so watch out for us to create this demand zone right here. Okay, we could see further downside. All right, we are breaking down, creating lower highs. All right, but right now we're still making lower lows. So I would say stay patient on Coinbase. Stay patient on Coinbase. On the weekly time frame, we do have some continuation to the downside. So always check the macro and to see what's going on the higher time frame. All right. So we definitely could see more downside on Coinbase. All right. Coinbase right here at 656 could be the next target. You understand? And also there's a gap here at 321. So you want to wait for this week, right? This is a weekly time frame, so the weekly time frame is going to give you your contents for the weekend, and wait to see if it closes to make a higher close than this one. All right, that gives you your higher low in the grand scheme of things for my swing traders out there. Or if you're buying shares, all right, you want to see that hold. All right, you want to see that hold the same way it happened right here. All right, AMD. Here's AMD. We at 178. 81 on AMD, and I see a technical trap right here on AMD, all right, that have been down for a long time. We're on a weekly time frame, so it's been weeks. I'm talking about back in 2024 in March that we just been spiraling down. I think it's about time for the shorts to get squeezed. All right, AMD had some good news over the weekend. All right, boom, there you have it. We have upside continuation. I do see some continuation. All right, this is not really a speculative play. When you look at the fundamentals in the balance sheet of the company AMD, you kind of see their structure, the EBITDA, right? Their debt to ratio. This is fundamental talk. All right, so this is a technical break. We have broken over previous highs. I do see AMD getting to higher levels towards 200 even. All right, I gave out some things in Discord. All right, Tesla, what do we have for Tesla? All right, Tesla is one of my favorite stocks to trade. All right, we need to stay above 320 to see any sort of chance for the bulls to have upside continuation. All right, if we break, all right, simple line break, see conversion. All right, Tesla is an AI company, and I like the news and I like what's going on with the technicals. All right, so I want to stay patient. All right, I want to see a trend line break on this weekly time frame for a parabolic move. I mentioned early before in previous videos about a cup and handle. Right now we have downside, and we have the dips have been bought from earnings. We already know that the dip has been bought. All right, we've seen what happened when Tesla dropped down to 300. The dip got bought. That's what we're working with. All right, so we're gonna move on along, and I just wanted to give you guys a couple of insights on things and to check back on SPY. We are at 630, 639. All right, remember, we're waiting on the perfect timing. All right, waiting on the perfect timing. Appreciate you guys' time. All right, if you enjoyed this video, again, hit the like. Until the next time, just messing with you guys, just messing with you. Listen, I want you guys to understand one thing. All right, I love to have fun, I love to joke around, and I love to, just be human. All right, this video is for the person who really wants some good insights and really want to play back a video that I go back to and study. All right, the things that I'm showing you inside of this video is very particular. It comes from a seasoned trader myself. All right, I've been trading for about 8+ years. Okay, I've earned the right to be able to train and mentor people, and so that's what I do. I train and I mentor people, and I want the same for the YouTube community. Whether you're a beginner, you're intermediate, and or what do you say, advanced trader. All right, my channel is for all. If you know anybody who wants to join a group where we teach people how to fish for a lifetime, and you send them over to this channel. You understand? Send them over to this channel. And the next time that you guys see me, all right, I'm going to be displaying some of the call outs and some of the profits that's been made, and some of the testimony from some of the people that's been inside of my group. I think it's very good for you guys to have receipts. All right, you want receipts, okay? So I appreciate your time again. Sorry for the mishap, joking with you guys there. But this is the Unique Trading Group, where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. You guys have a blessed day, all right?